Hey, meteorologist Pete Mangione here. Confidence is growing that we will have a significant snowstorm on the way for at least part of our area. You can see on this map here the heavy snow potential, at least the highest chance of big-time totals. We're talking totals around a foot, maybe more, would be up here in northern Connecticut, central Massachusetts. However, even for Providence, northern Rhode Island, confidence is growing that we could see some significant snow accumulations, while the coast is still looking at some brief snow over to rain. But again, a lot of details still have to be ironed out. We're still at this point not issuing a snowfall forecast map. We want to look at more data and get closer to the actual event before we do that, as a lot could still change here. But here are the general impacts that we're talking about. I will eliminate myself from this graphic just for a second so you can see what's going on here. High impacts likely from snow and ice, heavy rain. Keep in mind, even if this ends up becoming a little more of a rainy scenario where the snow changes a little bit more rapidly over to rain, it could be a real mess. You get the rain falling on top of snow and some ice, and you could get some localized street flooding with some of the snow clogging the drains on Sunday. And then power outages, yes, there's a moderate risk of that, of some scattered power outages, some gusty winds likely Saturday night into Sunday morning as a low-level jet approaches. And this will have big travel impacts. I mean, I guess the silver lining is that, at least it's not happening during a commute, but for anyone traveling this weekend, obviously some pretty big impacts. So here is what one of the computer models is saying, and I don't want you to take this too literally, but I wanted to show you just a couple of the different scenarios that we're tracking. This particular scenario, which I think is the European model, this says, all right, snow starts for pretty much everybody late Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then even at 6:30 in the morning, we still could be snowing. So under the scenario, that means there could be several hours of very heavy snow. We're talking maybe 1-2 inches per hour, and that can add up quickly, and then likely going over to some rain or freezing rain during the late morning and afternoon, and then maybe one last dose of snow Sunday night and Monday morning. You could get another few additional inches out of that. All right, so just remember what I just showed you. Remember how it said 6:30 in the morning, likely still snowing, and again, I don't want you to assume that at 6:30, yes, it will be snowing because Pete just showed me that map to the exact minute. Now, I just want you to keep the 6:30 a.m. number in mind because I want to show you the differences in some of the models that we're tracking. All right, so this is the American model, I believe. It does have agreement that, yes, pretty much everybody starts to snow on Saturday night, coming down heavy. But look at this. By around 6:30, this says we're over to rain. So this is a warmer solution. This track on the American model is coming in a little bit further north, and that implies a rainier solution. Under this scenario, it may end up just being a few inches of snow if we were able to flip to rain this quickly. It doesn't mean it's going to be beautiful outside. It'll still be a mess, but this would mean less snow. And then that last final dose of snow perhaps on Sunday night with potentially a flash freeze. So that's what we're looking at right now. We'll continue to update you on this forecast and winter storm watch now in effect, as we will be quite busy here this weekend in the Pinpoint Weather Center.